I've always wanted to learn how to paint, so over the next week, I'm going to be teaching myself by doing a painting every single day. I got my paint and my brushes right here. I am not going to be watching any YouTube tutorials.
Today I'm going to teach you guys how to paint like a pro.
I'm just going to be doing this all solo. Here's some of my previous paintings. As you guys can tell, they're pretty bad. For this one, I just drew a few flowers. I guess you can tell that they're flowers, but there's not a lot of depth and it really doesn't look that good in my opinion. And for this one, I drew a toucan with a little environment. Again, you could tell what it is, but I just feel like it's not great. The toucan is really flat. I think the color palette here was terrible. And there's just literally no detail on it. To be fair, I think I also just didn't finish this one. And here's the most recent painting that I did. For this one, I actually did two versions. One just as a test to figure out the colors and whatnot that you can see right here. And here is the second one that I actually fully finished and tried to make look as good as possible. Yeah, I pretty much have no experience painting. I mean, these are literally all the paintings I've done in my entire life. I don't think my goal is to make the most realistic things, but hopefully in 7 days I can improve quite a bit from these first drawings that I actually made. My painting experience is very minimal. I have barely made any paintings in my entire life, but I always thought that it was really cool watching different people being able to paint like crazy realistic things, and I always had a desire to do it. For me, I always gravitated more towards graphic design and actually drawing rather than painting. But I wanted to make a change. I think that painting is the coolest out of all of those, so I wanted to actually try and do it myself for the first time ever. Obviously, you could tell that I'm using watercolor paint. Literally the only reason why I got watercolor is because I saw my uncle using it and I was inspired by him. And so I decided to buy it myself and try to start my own journey of actually making watercolor paintings. Plus, I think watercolor is kind of easy compared to other forms. I don't really know, honestly. Like I said, I did no research, so this is what I ended up doing. Here is my day one drawing. Hopefully you guys can tell what it is. If you can't, then I don't know what to tell you. I feel like this one is okay. I think the head is a little bit too big, and some of the colors could be a little bit better. That's just me being a little bit lazy, but overall, I feel like I did a decent job. I'll give this one like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's too bad. For the first day of the challenge, I'm pretty happy with it. At the end of this challenge, I'm gonna make one painting that I wanna give away to somebody watching this. So hopefully I actually do improve and it does look decent for you guys. Time for our day 2 painting. For this one, I decided to go with something simple. I decided to paint a Pikachu. I don't want to give out too many spoilers here, but let me just say that it wasn't so simple for me. I don't know how I managed to mess something like this up, but honestly, this is probably the worst painting of the entire challenge, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I just personally did not like it at all. Let me know. Here's day 2, my Pikachu. I don't even know what went wrong here. I think I just tried to rush it too much. Because of that, I tried to draw the eyes while it was still wet, and now the eyes look like this. So, not great. Really not great. I don't like this one at all. I'll give it like a 1 out of 10, not gonna lie. Time for day 3. I knew I had to make a comeback for this one because day 2 was just so bad. So I decided to draw something that I thought would have a lot of detail, but would be relatively easy for me to do as a beginner painter. And again, referencing back to my uncle, he always does paintings of Lego, so I was always inspired by that. I thought it always looked really cool, so I decided to do my own painting of a Lego, and I think it kind of worked out well. This is just one of those classic Lego spacemen, if you guys ever had Lego back in the day, or if you still do now. I always wanted one of these, but I was never able to get one, so I decided to draw my own version of it instead. Here is my day 3 painting. It's just some random Lego figure. I think it looks okay. There's definitely a few things I wish I could change right here, but overall, not bad. I feel like the face is definitely not centered, and a little bit of the shading could be better, but overall, I think it's decent. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. As I'm editing this and the challenge is already over, I can see so many issues with this now that I guess I didn't see back then. So hopefully that means that I actually did improve. Time for day 4. I was actually pretty confident for day 4 because I really liked my day 3 painting at the time anyways. So I wanted to come through with something that I'm used to actually drawing, and I wanted to draw Stitch. And as I was drawing this, you could see in the footage, I just absolutely felt like it looked horrible. I think that it was just so bad. I don't know where I went wrong here. I felt like the ears were messed up, the colors were all wrong, and there were just so many things that I just didn't get right in this initial painting. But I think that I actually was able to bring this one back to life and improve it a lot. And I think that's one thing that I've learned, to keep moving forward even if I think it looks bad. Here's today's drawing. It is Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Hopefully you can recognize it, otherwise it's horrible. I think it's okay though, I don't mind it. Honestly, as I was drawing it, I thought it was gonna look horrible, but I think it came out decently. I'll give this one like a 7 out of 10. I actually quite like it, especially for how bad I thought it would be. It's currently like 4 a.m., but I'm dedicated to the grind. So I'm gonna do my next painting right now, but I can barely even like stay awake, so. Unfortunately right here, my phone overheated, so you can only see the end of the painting process. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, literally the only reason I decided to paint a duck was because I knew it would be simple, and I felt like even if I didn't put a lot of detail and a lot of time into it, it would be easy to do. Because I started this painting at 4 a.m. I woke up early that day, so this is what I did. Here is my drawing number 5. It is a duck. Honestly, I am extremely tired, and I didn't put as much effort into this one, but you know what? It looks like a duck, and that's the goal. I'm happy with it. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. I think it gets the job done. Definitely a lot I could have improved here, I'm not gonna lie. But the best part is, it looks like a duck. At this point, I really just had no ideas for what I wanted to draw, so I literally just took a look around my room, and I saw that I have a Wall-E in my room, so I decided to draw Wall-E. One of my favorite movies of all time, not gonna lie. If you haven't watched Wall-E, definitely should. But this painting, you know, it was very intimidating when I started it, because this painting has a lot of detail. Wall-E has like rust, he has dirt. There's so many things going on this character that I was intimidated to do it, but I decided, you know what, I like Wall-E, and honestly, I have no better ideas, so I might as well just go for it. And I was very pleased with how this one turned out. Probably my favorite painting that I made in this whole challenge. Let me know what you guys think. So here is my day 6 drawing. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I was afraid I wasn't able to get all the details in here, but I think it actually looks pretty good. If I had to rate this one, I would probably give it an 8.5. There's a few things that I wish I could have fixed. For example, this part right here, it just is not straight at all, and I don't like that. I think the hands could be a little bit better, and the neck could be a little bit better, but overall, pretty good. So it's time for our final day of the painting challenge, day 7. I decided to try to one-up Wall-E by doing a character that has even more detail and has even more going on it. This is supposed to be Bastion from Overwatch, if you guys ever played the game. He's literally a robot that turns into like a turret, and there is just so much detail on him. There's like all kinds of metal wires everywhere. There's a giant gun on his back. He even has a little cap on that has a lot of detail. There's just so much going on, and I felt like it would be even more difficult than Wall-E, because I think at this point, you know, I have to step my game up and try to do the most difficult thing that I possibly could. And so Bastion was the character I landed on. Here is my day 7 drawing. It is supposed to be Bastion from Overwatch, if you know what he looks like. If you don't, then here's a picture. I think it looks alright. This one has a lot of detail, a lot of things going on, so I think I did a pretty good job of adding everything in. I think it looks decent. So here are all 7 of my paintings. We start off on day 1 with the bacon hair. Then we had Pikachu, which looked terrible. We had this Lego dude, which was almost there, definitely getting better. We had Stitch, which I liked, but the colors were a little bit off. The duck, I was a little bit lazy for this one, but I think it turned out okay. Then we got Wall-E. Honestly, probably my personal favorite. I think this one turned out very well. And we had Bastion. I think this one also turned out pretty good. Probably my second favorite. So let me know if you guys actually see any improvement from day 1 to day 7. But now, my only mission is to recreate my day 1 drawing. This time, I have an actual canvas, so I'm gonna be ripping this open and getting straight to painting. So I guess this is technically an 8-day challenge because today is day 8 and we are doing our final painting. I decided to recreate the bacon hair that I did on day 1. Originally, I actually was going to do something completely different. I wanted to do like a famous player on Roblox, for example, like Hazem or Merly or Shedletsky, but I realized that that literally makes no sense because the whole point is to see if I improved or not. So I just decided to recreate what I did on day 1 all over again. It is a slightly different image, but it is the same character, a bacon hair once again. So you guys definitely have to let me know what you think about it. Do you guys think that I improved, or do you think I stayed the same? I just finished the final painting. Here it is. I don't even know Well, this is actually just so funny. I think it's pretty accurate. If you compare it to my original first drawing, I think that it actually is quite a bit better, but you know, there's not really much that could have been improved here. Honestly, I feel like some of my other paintings are still better, but I do like this one. I think it's very funny. For now, it's gonna sit in the background, or maybe I might give it away to somebody. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it. But be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys actually think that I improved in painting? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Peace.